My name is Catherine. You can find me on my blog at backstageknits.com, Ravelry as Backstage Cat Knits, and Instagram and TikTok as Backstage Cath. Today is Saturday, April 30th. I'm so excited to have you here. Dip my toes back into podcasting land. My usual disclaimer, no idea how long this podcasting effort will last. Sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it's months. It just kind of depends. But here we are, glad to be back with you all today. I've got a finished object, a half object, and some other stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. The finished object is what's around my neck here. It is the Vertex Unite Shawl by Stephen West. I finished this Thursday, and I really love how it turned out. It's so big and bright and beautiful. This is unblocked. I do think I will block it. I probably won't like full on pin it, but I think it could relax a little bit, especially these ends feel like they get a little bit short. I wore it yesterday to work and it was kind of falling off slightly. So I think I will just kind of block it and like let it relax a little bit. The yarns. So there are 5 yarns in this and they were all from Stash, which I'm super happy to actually use yarns from Stash. That's what the Stash is for, right? So color A, which is this here, the teal and the pink, that's color B. But that's color B, the teal and the pink, is Forest Fiber Arts in the Oasis colorway. The color A is the border color. It's also striped here and here. It's like the white stripe. It's Farmer's Daughter Fibers Plinter Sock in the Lone Larch colorway. Color C is the gray, so it's striped in here and in here. A little hard to see on its own. That's Hedgehog Fibers in their sock base in the Juniper colorway. And then color D is this bright kind of speckly pink, so it's here by itself and then striped down here. That is Malabrigo Makita in the Atomic colorway. It's actually a single ply, and you were supposed to use that for the border, but I decided to use the color that didn't like have a block by itself, so it didn't, I don't know, I felt like it would be weird if this was all one block but then the borders weren't. So anyway, one mod I made. And then the final one is actually yarn I got at Rhinebeck this year. This is yarn Huga in the Cosmic Dawn colorway, and this was technically, I think, a like sport weight or light DK, but it worked fine just on its own. So, oh man, I love like getting to do these podcasts because you take a step back and you look at it all and you're just like, man, this looks really pretty. So I'm so happy with how it came out. And yeah, I'm wearing it today with a fully me-made outfit. This is the Strata Top by So Liberated. And these are the Otis overalls, also by So Liberated. So I am fully me-made for this gorgeous spring day. And is there a better feeling in the world? I really don't think so. So yeah, that's that. We shall see how long this stays on. It is a scooch bit warm in here because it's so nice and sunny and not warm outside, but certainly like nice enough. Hair's doing weird things today. So, works in progress. First up, and I've shown this off on the blog before, actually both of these, is my little Paddock Socks. So one is done. These are by Ambrose Smith. And the pattern is inspired by Murders Announced. Couldn't remember the name of the title. It's the one Marple book I own, by Agatha Christie. It's a Miss Marple book. And the yarn is Republica Unicornia BFL sock in the colorway St. Mary Mead 235, which also is inspired by Miss Marple. So very well themed socks. I was working on these this morning in knitting club and I am midway down the gusset, I'd say. So we are getting there. I'm hoping to finish these off in the next week or so. I kind of had a goal to finish either the shawl or the socks by the end of April, which I did. So kind of thought it was gonna be the socks first, but then I was like, you know what? Let me just like sit and knit. I probably knit I think I knit 8,000 stitches a day for 2 days in a row, like most of it on this shawl. I just wanted to get it done, and it's all garter stitch, so it all worked out. The last whip to show off is my sock yarn blanket. So I have exciting news, which you may have seen on the blog. I am officially now halfway there. So long story short, there was a time in March where all I wanted to do was knit squares. And I had finished, I think, a pair of socks and I didn't have, didn't feel like getting my ball winder out to cast on another pair of socks, so I started the third quadrant. So I posted, I'm halfway done with the blanket blog post, but I wasn't actually done with this half. I was 10 squares away from it being done. So this is this half, which I started in April 2019. So that took me, I finished in, I think, October of last year. And then this quadrant, I finished this year. And, oh, look, it looks so good. I love how these look from far away. So, yeah, those are officially done. I'm trying to decide if I seam them, if I block them and then seam them, or wait till all four are done. We'll see, I'll figure it out. And actually, I probably won't full on block it, but again, I kind of want to give it a rinse, just let them all settle into a moment, which I think you should do before you seam, right? So we'll see if that happens, but yeah. And then I am working my way through the third quadrant, slowly but surely. So I'm trying to do, I like to set up, so these are 10 by 12. I like to set up the rows, so I have my 10 side done, because this will actually connect to here, like this, I think. Ta-da, ta-da. So that is done, and then I'm doing my 12 side, which will connect to the fourth quadrant. I think I'm on 7, it looks like. So we'll get that done when we get that done. I am somehow still on track to finish by the end of the year, knitting about a stitch every day. Or, sorry, a square every day. It'd be really good if I was knitting a stitch every day before the end of the year. So we'll get there when we get there. Again, it's gonna happen or it won't. I definitely would like to get quadrant 3 done. That's seeming perfectly reasonable at this point now. So there's that. I got a bunch of yarn from friends, and I bought a really cool 50 pack of minis from this yarn store in the UK. So I should be in a good spot to actually be able to have enough yarn to finish this thing off, which is exciting. So what's coming up next for me? Believe it or not, the next thing that I'm going to work on is my Rhinebeck sweater. I know it seems far away to be working on a sweater for October, but actually I have one friend who finished hers off this morning. We make sweaters out of the same yarn. This is our 3rd year doing it, but we all make different sweaters. Though this year, 3 of the 4 of us are making ones from the same designer. So I am going to knit the Bee's Knees by Thea Coleman. And that's what this looks like. Let's get this up. It's this beautiful cardigan, because I really like cardigans for Rhinebeck. Although last year when we actually went, I didn't make a cardigan, but I love the idea of cardigans for Rhinebeck with this super detailed cable front and then textured sleeves. I think it'll be a really nice balance between an exciting stuff to do cable and relaxing just texture on the sleeves. We are using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted weight, and this is the Everglade Heather colorway. We were influenced by me in this colorway. It's more green than I thought it was when we bought it, but it's gorgeous. We're working our way through the jewel tones. So, hence the emerald of that. Last year, when we went to Rhinebeck, we also made me-made things to go under the sweaters. So I'm going to make a Zara jumpsuit, which you may have seen on the blog. I made a long sleeve version, but I think I'm going to do a sleeveless version for Rhinebeck. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of this cool like wrap jumpsuit. I love how this thing fits. I think I'm gonna make the same size. I might try to taper down the hips a little bit because they were a bit large the first time I made it, but we shall see. So I went to the fabric store today after knitting club to get fabric for that. So I got 4 yards of this gorgeous, it feels like wool. I don't know if it's actually wool. I go to this store called Affordable Fabrics, which is a great store, but the fabrics are affordable and they often they don't have information on what they are. So you just kind of have to guess. It looks like a thing you would make like a suit out of. I think it'll be really nice. It has these like color specks in it, which is super gorgeous and such a nice detail. None of them are green, but I thought it would still work with this just nice bright cardigan and something I can actually wear to work. Like I said, it will be sleeveless. I'm not sure that I want to wear this fully next to me. So the store sells like pre-packaged quilting cotton. So this is 6 yards, so it's more than enough. I think I might actually make a project bag out of this cool cotton, and this will be the lining. And I think it will look really cool and be on brand and just like super fun Rhinebeck awesomeness. So yeah. That will be that. And then I'm going to finish these socks. I like having a pair of socks to take with me on the bus. So I think I'm going to cast on with this yarn I got while buying some sock blanket yarn from A Girl in Her Wool. And this is her BFL base, 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon, in the colorway Aurora. And it's just this gorgeous like blues and purples and golds. And I think they'll be really gorgeous. Probably stockinette, maybe like a small cable pattern. Have not thought about it at all, but soon that will be a thing I need to worry about. I talked super fast, but that is what I have to say. So this will be a short one. Probably would have been longer had I like stopped and thought about what I was saying for more than 3 seconds. I did write notes, which is pretty good for me. But yeah, that's what's happening in my knitting world. There has been, like I said, a lot of knitting. It's been pretty monogamous. That's pretty usual for me. Let's see, the last podcast I talked a lot about the show and should I do it and it's COVID and all that stuff. I ended up doing the show. It was really awesome. It did continue to feel pretty reckless, though by the end, when we actually opened, mask mandates were being lifted in places, which I don't know that I agree with, but like, that was the case, and we all stayed healthy. There were no COVID cases in the cast, so hurrah. It was just really nice to be doing a show again, and I loved the people in the theater, and it just felt really good. And I am helping doing tech only for their next show because I can't do 2 in a row like that, but I will hopefully be stage managing the one in December. So lots of fun things to come. I think that's it. Life is just happening in this weird, like, still in a pandemic, but not in a pandemic if you listen to some people, but really in a pandemic if you listen to others, and how do you navigate that, and blah. I'm in the office. There are other people there. We as a full company returned to office mid-March, although on Friday, yesterday, there was no one there. There was like 3 of us. It was actually really great. So yeah, we shall see what continues to happen with that. My friends and I are going to the Cape next weekend, so that will be a good time. Yeah, that was 2 more minutes, but I have nothing else to say. I'm just babbling. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this slightly long and rambly podcast, but I know there are some of you who really enjoy this format, and I enjoy making them too. Like I said, absolutely no promises on when this will ever happen again, because you know it's me. But there's maybe more knitting happening in more like non super duper monogamous fashion. I have decided, now I'm babbling about something else. I have decided to take a little bit of a break from test knitting. I just was kind of tired by it, and I have like a bunch of things that I actually want to knit from stash for myself, be they like socks or just like I've got like sweater stashes, like 8 or 9 of them now. And while there's gorgeous tests being released every day, and I like being told what to do sometimes, not having to make the choice of what I'm gonna knit next, overall I think I just need a break from the deadlines and the craziness. And I had some not great test experiences recently, so you know, nothing against the designers, everyone was great and it was fine, but like just need a little bit of a break. So there's that. Yeah, and I haven't been blogging much because I have not had the mental energy. I've been reading a ton, which I always like approve of a time in my life when I'm reading. It used to be my thing and it became less my thing, and now like I just go in spurts. So I'm embracing the spurt right now of reading novels. I've read a bunch of like novels with queer characters for a reading challenge I'm doing on Storygraph. So lots of great ones. House on the Cerulean Sea, highly recommend. I'm reading one now called Kaikeyi, which is a reimagining of a character in the Ramayana, and I'm only like a fourth of the way through, but it's super good. So really enjoying that one as well. So yeah, now that I've added more minutes from babbling, I'm gonna call it a day, I think. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you have a wonderful week and that you enjoy what you're crafting. I will talk to you later. Bye.